Hi, my name is Anueldy, and I will be reading the Aesop fable, The Tortoise and the Hare. The hare couldn't understand how the tortoise ever accomplished anything. Tell me, demanded the hare as he hopped circles around the tortoise. How do you get things done? You move so slowly that you hardly move at all. Just look at me. Look at me. I covered lots of ground every day. To prove it, the hare sprinted across the field and back again before the tortoise could even open his mouth. Well, began the tortoise, as he considered his answer, it's like this. First of all, I find it much better to plan ahead, and then, no time for this. There's no time at all, interrupted the hare, and in a flash he was gone. A few days later, the hare happened to meet the tortoise on a mossy rock. Hey there, Mr. Tortoise, shouted the hare, appearing suddenly and giving the tortoise a terrible scare. If you don't watch out, somebody's gonna make soup of you. Oh, replied the tortoise, poking his head out of shell, you're just mocking me. Besides, I don't believe, but the hare was impatient. I think you need some exercise. It'll start your heart pumping. It'll get your blood moving. Try it, you'll see. Exercise, said the tortoise. Let me think a moment. By exercise, do you mean a race? Blurted the hare. I challenge you to a race. And before the tortoise could quickly reply, the date was set. On the morning of the race, everyone turned out to witness the contest of the season. The owl had selected a fair course the night before, and the lion and the frog agreed to judge the race and announce the winner. The tortoise and the hare stood side by side at the starting line. The race was about to begin. The crowd held its breath. A crow sitting in a nearby tree dropped a twig, signaling the start. When the twig hit the ground, the races were off. The shouts and croaks of caws and barks of the crowd were deafening, but the hare was already too far ahead to hear them. The tortoise moved along as fast as he could, which is to say, not very fast at all. But soon he too was well away from the starting line. When the hare reached the halfway mark, he turned to look behind him. The tortoise was nowhere in sight. It was almost lunchtime, and the hare thought about making a salad to celebrate his certain victory. He went off in search of carrots and lettuce, and whatever else he might find. Meanwhile, the tortoise plodded along, slowly closing the gap between himself and the hare. The whole time he kept in his mind the thought of crossing the finish line. The hare gathered a huge amount of salad greens for his victory salad, and even went in for the trouble of finding tender blossoms. When he had finished the last of his lunch, he returned to the track and dashed a little faster ahead. But the sun was high and hot, and the hare was drowsy from such a big meal. Once again, he left the track, this time in search of some shade. Little did he know that the tortoise was behind him, just around the bend. There's one thing I have to give to the tortoise credit for, thought the hare as he drifted off to sleep. Since he carries his house with him, he can get shade whenever he wants. The tortoise pressed forward, not even realizing that he was passing the hare. He's nowhere in sight, the tortoise thought, but the race isn't over until it's over. Like the hare, the tortoise was also feeling tired from the sun, but he kept his goal in mind. One thing I have to give credit for the hare, he said to himself, at least he doesn't have to carry his home with him wherever he goes. No wonder he can move so fast. The tortoise kept moving. The hare dreamed about victory. A while later, the tortoise began to hear the friendly sounds of animals chirping, cawing, and growling as he realized that he was nearing the finish line. As he cleared the gap from the hill, he could see the crowd at the bottom. The crowd saw him too and began to cheer. In his dreams, the hare thought the cheers were for him. But suddenly he awoke and realized that the race was not yet won. He jumped and dashed for the finish line. He reached the top of the hill, the last end, just to see the tortoise win. The end.